situations.
Oga Police, no worry, I see you. You know you can do the right thing, right? You know you can do without that bribe. You know you don't even have to harass that young man because he is properly dressed. And you think he's a Yahoo boy? You don't even have to assault that citizen whom you have sworn an oath to protect. Yes, we understand that the pay is not good enough to take you home. That you are still wearing a uniform that you bought with your own money 5 years ago. It's no news that the government has not done enough by you. We feel your pain and we wish things could be different as we continue to call on government to wake up to their responsibilities. We want the police to be our friends, just as it is boldly stated across the various police stations nationwide. And from mainland 98.3 FM, we implore you to do better. We love you and we support you always.
Very good evening to you. Welcome to the Situation Room live on mainland 98.3 FM. I want to believe your day has been going well. Mine has been good. It's the 14th day of February 2024. It's St. Valentine's Day. For the people that get to, key into the wave and the buzz of, a special day like this. Well, I wish everyone celebrating a beautiful celebration, and I'm sure for the past maybe 2 weeks or thereabout, you must have been hearing shout out from your regular voices on mainland FM, sending message of love to you. Like a friend posted on X this morning that Valentine is not the time to preach the love in the Holy Bible. It's a time for lovers to exchange and express love. And I've always wondered, does it really have to do with maybe Val's Day, for instance, or your partner or your spouse's birthday, or your mother's day, or your father's day, or siblings' day, or whatever day that we celebrate the people that means the world to us? Maybe we just do it especially on those days. I mean, I've always said it. I'm not so much of a birthday person, but the kind of love and attention you get on your birthday, if you could get like 10% of that the other days that are not your birthday, sometimes maybe life could be a bit better, But then we're celebrating with those that are celebrating. And on my way, I promised yesterday that I was going to observe the movement today. I deliberately didn't come to the office very early as I usually do. I just said to, just take my time, allow the activities in town to pick up very well. Around 12, came in through Ikeja. I was just seeing, dispatch riders left and right. Some of them could not even cover. Yes, I said, country hard. People are still celebrating Val. So I stopped by the Maryland Mall and I just saw pass everywhere. And I'm like, hold up. I thought we were for people. How come everyone is everywhere? How come the cinemas are full? How come the malls, everybody is hanging out? And I just picked a lesson straight up from that. in the midst of all of this chaos, Nigerians would always find a way to make themselves happy. I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing. The way Nigerians always quickly adjust to difficulty. I mean, we moved from 180 to 370 to 520 to 410 to 520 to 780 to 960 to 1000. And, after every increment, Nigerians will just run increment in cost of public transportation. If you get to have your car, you align with the adjustment at the fuel pump, at the pump price rather. Excuse me. I will just have a way of aligning as quick as possible. Sometimes they will tell you that, when you push Nigerians to the wall, they will break through the wall. And I'm like, I don't know if it's a good thing, because I've seen countries where they've asked questions from their governments. Maybe revolution, I don't know what you want to call it. When the Arab Spring started, the people in that region didn't just fold their hands. When the Egyptian guy, because he didn't get a job, set himself ablaze when he couldn't pay his rent, and that was the beginning of the Arab Spring. And then he moved across the states within the springs, and then president had to resign, government had to let go. There had to be some radical changes. People did not fold their hands, to say, what, we'll adapt, we'll adjust. On the other side, it could be a good thing, because the government can make excuses like, what, just give us this pain for a while, just endure it a little, adjust your belts to tighten the belt. But I'm just saying that 2023 December, it was tough, people adjusted. 2024, I was watching the video of the former minister of power, former governor of Lagos State, Babátúndé Rájí Fáṣọlá, and he was talking about the fact that in December, that dirty December, I'm sure you understand what dirty December is. In case you don't, it is how people choose to relax and enjoy themselves in December. I mean, often from 20th to maybe 2nd of January, people flying from different part of the world into Lagos. People travel from other part of the country into Lagos, because you feel like, the social buzz, the energy, the shutdown, it's in Lagos. People flew in from the UK, from the US, from South Africa, Nigerian celebrities. Everybody had shutdown shows, sold out events, clubs, lounges. It was some massive level of relaxing. So and I listened to Babátúndé Rájí Fáṣọlá, and he said, what, that dirty December contributed to 5% of our GDP for the month of December. And I'm like, okay, so let's get it on. Over 5 billion was reportedly spent on alcohol alone in December. And that's 5 billion is a lot of money. Over 5,000 people reportedly came in from the US alone. Not talk of South Africa, not talk of, the United Kingdom, not talk of, Italy, not talk of so many other African countries. Because people just found out that Lagos has a different feeling. So in the midst of all of the chaos, people were still spending money. People were, popping drinks, expensive drinks. People were spending 23 million, 25 million a night in club in Lagos. So we'd always find a way to adjust, align. People, got new cars, got new houses. People did big, beautiful stuff in December. So in the midst of all of this, there's shortage of breath, there's shortage of water, there's shortage of these. People have found their ways around it. And today is not different. People have been making deliveries. I've been on social media since morning, and I've been seeing them pictures and videos. I say, single Pringles, you are in trouble. Okay, let's get back into the conversation today. It is the Situation Room live from Mainland 98.3 FM. If you're joining us for the first time and you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Oᴏᴜᴡ Akínyẹ̀dé. Somebody asked on Wednesday, why do I call my name? Do I call it? And I said it's a very personal decision. The person texted again, yesterday, and I said, why do you always call your name twice? And I said, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, I'm just being me actually. But then Let's get straight up into the conversation. It's Friday. This program runs from Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. 90 straight minutes of conversation around politics, leadership, accountability, governance, demand for dividends of democracy, conversation around everything that should make this country great. And one of the things that are taking us major steps backward is the issue of power. And there's so much to talk about, from experiences, from reports, video reports. If you picked up a copy of Guardian newspaper today, the big story centered around providing healthcare in darkness, and that has to do with the unfortunate situation going on at the UCH Ibadan. UCH is one of the I'm trying to look for the right word when it comes to healthcare provider, when it comes to hospitals in Africa, where there were reports that even the king of Saudi Arabia at some point was in UCH Ibadan for treatments. There was a time where almost all of the senior medical doctors and directors there are white people. I mean, it's a whole lot of, you're always wondering if all of the investments that we've had in the power sector, it's ever going to make any progress. When the Minister of Power came in, I mean, a lot of people were asking, it's going to be a different case. The Minister of Power is coming in from the banking sector. He's a technocrat. He understands the game. He's going to fix things. In fact, before the whole talk of Malam Nasir Rufai being screened out or not being given security clearance after his screening for the minister, a lot of people were saying, if Rufai comes in, he should be made Minister of Power. He's going to fix the power problems that we have. We've moved from different spaces, from privatization. Government is telling us how much trillions they pay to subsidize power supply in the country. And you ask yourself, have we gotten any better? I read the reports late last week that some patients would have to bring their own generator when they are coming to federal hospitals. And I'm wondering, medical doctors protested at the UCH Ibadan, and then the Minister of Power visited and made a promise that power was going to be restored in 24 or 48 hours. True to his commitment, power was restored, but all of the hostels at the UCH Ibadan was cut off. Hostels that are housing students, lecturers, researchers, electricity supply was cut off. So the student also took to the streets of the campus yesterday and started protesting. And I'm wondering, how much more can we give to power generation or fixing the issue of power in Nigeria? We've done a lot, from privatization, we've done a lot to subsidizing power supply in the country, the issue of band and ratification, which I think is one of the most undemocratic things, as you can imagine, by the way. I mean, if I can afford to pay for electricity, you should give me, irrespective of where I stay. It's almost like it's a clear admittance of failure on the part of the government to say, as there's band A, there's band W, there's band J, there's band K, and I'm like, how did we get here? So if I stay in Magbo, for instance, I'm entitled to light just 2 hours in 2 days, 2 hours out of 48 hours, and I'm wondering, I pay my taxes regularly, so what stands me out from the people that are staying in Magodo and are enjoying 20 hours of electricity supply? I thought we were in a democracy. I thought everybody should be equal. I thought the government should be able to provide basic amenities for the citizens, irrespective of your social status. So when the issue of power and then band came in, and I'm like, okay. I thought they said democracy gives everyone equal rights. Apparently, in every classless society, there's always a class, according to the words of Karl Marx. But then you look at how public hospitals are gradually becoming mortuaries, and it worries a lot of us, that wakes up every day to monitor some of these developments. I mean, you look at the wave of electricity crazy bills, disconnections from national grid. I mean, a lot of big organizations, big companies in Nigeria have actually disconnected from the national grid because the crazy bill. Okay, let me tell you something. I've actually paid for a meter for almost a year now. The price itself is crazy. And each time I reach out to the guys, it's not ready yet. When the next batch should come, they will let me know. The month later, I will call. what's going on with my meter? Oh, it's not ready yet. The ones that came, people already rushed it. Oh, this and that is it. So they bring estimated bill to my house, and I spend the better part of my day in the office. And then you get back home, and then you have to rely on expensive petrol to power anything you have in your apartment, and it's tough. It's even tough that there's a crazy so I was hearing this in ones and in twos in trickles. I didn't believe it. So for 3 weeks, I monitored this myself. So the 4 station owners in my area do, according to reports, would give power, that's NEPA or PSN, whatever they are called, would give them money to seize power. So that when they seize the power, people would come and buy petrol to power their whatever it is that they have. Then lounge owners and viewing center operators would also go pay electricity suppliers, so that on days when there are key games, especially weekends when people are at home, you won't have electricity supply. So you'd have to come out to either pay at a viewing center, or you go to a lounge to enjoy a game of football if you're a sport lover. I mean, you're also at home for the weekend and you want to spend quality time with your family. You want to relax from the stress of the entire week, just to keep yourself refreshed for the new week. There's not going to be electricity supply. So by the end of the month, they just bring the estimated bill. Oh, for the month, whether you had light for 10 minutes, you would have to pay a certain amount of money. It is fixed. Even if you travel for 1 month and you come back, you meet that bill there. So the last one, I just got home from work and I saw the bill and I called the number on it. I think it was the following morning. And I'm like, hold up. Did you bring this bill to my house? The person said yes. And I said, come. Did I use lights that are giving me bill? He said, oh, their own is just to paste the bill. I was like, whoa, okay. I give up. That his job is just to print the bill and send it to the addresses. It's not his job to know. And I'm like, do you know how long I've paid for a single phase meter? And you guys have refused to give me. That is what millions of Nigerians are going through. Even the ones that are paying through their nose for band A, some of them will tell you that, there's a break somewhere. In the course of the week, I think on Wednesday, there was an announcement on the verified Twitter handle of the national grid that there's a disturbance on the grid. So even the major discos also released a statement that all of our supply points they have disruptions, so there won't be, even for the people on band A. So what more do we need to do? For over 3 months, Nigeria's premier teaching hospital, the University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan, grappled with an unprecedented power crisis that disrupted surgeries, paralyzed diagnostic services, and turned the once revered facility into a dark center. Like an epidemic, poor power access also plagued some of the tertiary health facilities, leading to the untimely and avoidable death of many poor Nigerians who are at the intersection of energy poverty, a high electricity tariff regime, a frail health sector whose underbelly is putrefying. Well, the question is this: how much more can the government demonstrate their level of commitment into making sure that critical social services are beginning with an endless need for us to fix the power sector in this country? When are we going to get these things done? Beginning also with the needless death of Nigerians in life-saving facilities. Ideally, the hospital is supposed to be a place where you would save yourself. So each time I listen to or I watch the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mr. Ali Pate, talking with all of the confidence, people are coming from outside of the country to run surgeries in Nigeria, our hospitals are working, and I listen to Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, also talk, and I'm like, hold up. Are we living in different country? Don't let us even talk about the facilities at those, even federal medical centers. Let's even talk about the lack of electricity supply at those places. So how do we balance it? I was listening to the director of the Nigerian Electricity Supply Corporation or something, NERDC or so, during the week, and I was talking about the fact that there's a plan to install solar at major facilities at these different health centers that we have in the country. Because how do you survive when initially maybe your electricity bill in an hospital is maybe, for instance, Luth, for instance, is maybe 30 million every month, and then you're trying to do that because you're getting maybe subventions from the federal government, so you're able to augment, sustaining that. And voila, your cost of electricity goes to 100 million and you're wondering, how do we maintain this? Where do we get the money from? Automatically bounces on poor Nigerians that are coming to those facilities to get proper treatment. So they would have to pay through their noses. For the ones that are even lucky to get maybe bed spaces, or the ones that are lucky to get scheduled for their surgeries on time, how do I even want to go to the hospital and I'm going with my own generator, or I'm having the thought that, oh, how do I run this? There are reports that hospitals or medical facilities are running surgeries with rechargeable lanterns, and I'm wondering, like, who does that? An MRI machine cannot be turned off once it is powered on. If the power goes out, specialists from the manufacturer must come in to restart it, which is both costly and time consuming. And also, when performing surgeries, the monitors, the suctions machines, and life support equipment all rely on continuous power, and if they stop working, patients can die in minutes. So what exactly our medical facilities turning into? From LASUS to Delta State University Teaching Hospital, from the University College Hospital Ibadan, all of these are, like, they are premier, teaching hospitals that have raised professors and world-renowned surgeons. And years down the line, instead of us to improve, we're actually not making any sustainable progress. If the report is not poor health facilities, it is going to be poor, manpower. It is going to be strike or protest today. It is going to be epileptic electricity supplies. It is from one problem to the other. And how do we make progress if we go on this way? How much more do we need to do to fix the electricity problems in this country? Private hospitals seems to be the easy way out right now. And boy, oh boy, you wouldn't want to know how that costs to get a decent private hospital to attend to your issues. It's a lot of money. It's a whole lot of money. So I don't know what the Minister of Power intends to do, especially with the case of the teaching hospitals that we have in the country, because it looks like once that of UCH Ibadan is sorted, others would have to raise voices. If they've been enduring some of these issues for a while, they will have to say enough is enough. We can't be paying this amount of money and then we're still going to taking off the national grid because we cannot meet up our payments. How do you even explain it that federal hospitals have been cut off from the national grid because they are owing NEPA bill? How do you put these things together? How does it even sink in your mind when you wake up every morning, whether as a president or as the Minister of Health or as the Minister of Power or as the Minister of Labor? How do you sleep at night when you know that teaching hospitals are in total blackout? How do you explain that even primary healthcare centers don't have as basic as paracetamol? They don't even have bed to admit patients. So how do you even think that our pharmaceutical life is making any logical progress whatsoever? All through this week, I've been seeing what NAFDAC has been doing with sealing markets. Even the very famous Idumota market was sealed because of fake and counterfeit drugs. Asaba, there was a massive market raid in some of the major markets in the southeast, where warehouses that are housing expired drugs were being discovered and burned. And it is not just coming from the government alone. It is coming from, sometimes even more often than not, you and I. Because if you choose to go bring in drugs that are expired and then you change the expiry date and you put in new ones, do you know what it means? You're killing people. You're bringing in infant food that is expired. You're running a store and then you have infant food that have spent more than the normal time on the shelf, and you choose to clean up the expiry date and you put another one. You're killing babies. How does it make you feel when you have those sales and then you're smiling to the bank? You're literally spending blood money, in case you don't know what that means. So when we say the government is at fault, I always look around. What exactly is the percentage of the ruling class in this country? They're not even up to 2% of the population. Let's agree that we're 230 million people. Do we even have up to 23 million politicians in this country? Do we have up to 2 million politicians in this country? Let's break it down. 36 state governors, right? 109 senators, 360 reps members. Out of the 36 states, well, houses of assembly, deputy governors. You look at the leadership of political parties across board, put all of them together. We don't have up to, let's say, career politicians in this country. I'm not even sure they're up to 1 million. So we all agree that all of our problems is being caused by those people. It's a big lie. We all have our roles to play in all of this madness that is going on. Have you asked yourself, where do you sit when it comes to the issue of patriotism? Are you truly patriotic when it comes to raising the Nigerian flag? Beyond just standing and singing the national anthem, and beyond hanging the picture of the president in your office or your state governors in your office, what does patriotism means to you? How do you think this country can make progress if you and I should do the right thing? It's an amazing country, by the way. Maybe one of the very best in the world, if only we can make it work. I was telling my cousin on Sunday, and I said, America is a liberal state like Nigeria. The only difference is America is a Nigeria that is working. It's as simple as that. America is a Nigeria that is working. There's nothing different there. Nigeria is one of the most peaceful countries if things are working. Nigeria is one of the easiest countries to have fun, make your money, and spend your money. Exactly. Some of the things we do here, as bad as they look, you can't try it in other countries. They'll jail you. You're throwing money, you're spending money, you're matching it, you're pouring money everywhere, and then they'll just pick one person and make the person the scapegoat, and then the status quo continues. Your celebrities are throwing money everywhere, and it's a whole lot. Your celebrities are smoking in a country where marijuana is banned, and then your celebrities are smoking publicly, and nobody is disturbing them. So this is probably one of the countries where you can make your money and enjoy your money. And that's the truth. So this country is so blessed. But you and I have major roles to play. You wake up in the morning and then you see a phone on the ground. Instead of you to try and track the owner of the phone, you will chance the phone and change the SIM and start using it. You have a car, and then because everyone is struggling to get to work, you turn your car to one chance. You pick innocent people, you rob them of their belongings, you rob them of their hard-earned money, you push them while your car is in motion, and then you wake up the following day and say, oh, the government is bad. Oh, Tinubu is bad. Hello, you are the thief. It is not just about the government. We are all enablers, by the way, because all of these politicians that we are talking about, they are our friends, they are our uncles. We stay in the same estate with them. We attend the same mosque with them. We attend the same church with them. We are relatives. Some of them bring kids to our school. So we're all enablers. When we see them, what do we tell them? So you're also here saying that the government is bad, but you're the same person bringing adulterated fuel into the country, because you know that we don't have regulatory agencies that will check the quality of petrol you're supplying into the country, and you think it's the government. So you have some things on your shelf, and then you say it's the government. Yes, the government is bad according to what everyone says, but we also are worse. We are worse than the people we claim to criticize. Some of us here are bringing in expired drugs. Boy, oh boy, it's almost like you're committing murder, and your own could even be a genocide, because if you flood a community with expired drugs and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 people take it and they die, do you know the crime you've committed? Even if you don't get caught, but let your conscience judge you. We all have roles to play to fix this country, and until we stop thinking the government is responsible for all of our problems, the ministers that are failing to deliver in their responsibilities, we all know them. When we see them, we don't say to their faces that they have failed. We are all, we're all praising them. We are hailing them. Oh, they're giving us money and life is good with them. By the end of the day, we come around to say, this country is bad, the government is bad. We are worse than the people we criticize. Okay, so on Fridays, we'll always have something we call the town hall meeting, and we'll go through everything we've discussed in the course of the week, and then I'll allow you to join the conversation. We started the show on Monday with two guests. My guest first on Monday was Mr. Tᴏɪᴛᴛᴇʀ Mᴜɪᴜ. He's a former councillor at the Ostend City Council in Belgium. He was a councillor for 18 years. But when we were done with that session, you probably think he's been living in Abia State for the past 40 years with his depth of knowledge in the country. And what did we talk about? We talked about the fact that if truly some members of the National Assembly are projecting that we should have 31 more states to take the state to 67, is that what we need right now? Is that the next line of action for us in the face of this chaos? We're still managing to keep afloat the 36 state and the FCT, and some people even want us to take it to 67. That's some good numbers, by the way. And then we talked about fiscal federalism, political and constitutional reforms. Talk about all of those. My second guest on Monday was Dr. Babatunde Waziri Adisa. He's a criminologist, security expert, and the sub-dean of Faculty of Social Science and a lecturer in the sociology department of the prestigious University of Lagos. And by the way, Dr. Waziri Adisa returns to the show on Monday. This time around is going to be a full 1 hour compared to the 20 minutes we had last week Monday. And that was what we talked about on Monday. And on Tuesday, we talked about social justice, environmental challenges, and oil exploration in the Niger Delta. Mr. Chijioke Alexander-Oji was my guest, and boy, oh boy, we drilled it almost like we're trying to, get crude oil. And he told us about the madness that is going on in the Niger Delta, how people's sources of livelihood have been taken away from them by greed, from their leaders, from governments, from community leaders, and everybody, even international multinational oil companies that are operating in that region. Everybody have played roles or continue to play roles that have grounded that region. Greed is also a big factor, according to Mr. Chijioke Alexander-Oji. And yesterday, Mr. Miwademi joined me on the show, the chief political editor of Guardian newspaper. We talked about opposition in Nigeria and the burden of sustainable alternative. We took it down. Instead of we're talking about the chief Tommy Kimi-led National Disciplinary Committee of the People's Democratic Party, how the people they summoned failed to appear. From Senator Ayahu, he cited medical reasons to the immediate past governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, that rejected his invitation, even demanded that the committee should tender a written public apology, that if him being invited had exposed him to ridicule and public. And I'm like, boy. Okay, and those are the things we talked about yesterday. And then we also broke the political parties down one after the other. We started off from the PDP. It looks like the PDP, if not careful, if things are not put in order, could just slide into political oblivion. If things are not properly done, don't get me wrong, I'm saying that if they cannot sanction the members that are making a mess of the political party that used to be one of the biggest political parties in Africa that ruled this country from 1999 till 2015, if they cannot put their house in order, they can't die a natural death. We've seen political parties that have gone into oblivion because the leadership of the party refused to take responsibilities, and the members also refused to align with the ideologies of these political parties. Okay, what happened to Labour Party as well? Okay, it looks like certain people are pulling out of Labour and also insisting that the obedient movement is not a part of the Labour Party. But that was not the case in 2023 when we had the general election, specifically on the 25th of February, almost 2 years, from here. But hey, what exactly is going on? Some people loyal to the former governor of Anambra State and the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi are withdrawing from the party, and it looks like it's going to be a different ball game going into the 2027 election. What happens also to the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, that is holding sway in Kano? What is happening between the governor of the state, Governor Abba Yusuf, and the leader of the Kwankwasia movement, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso? It looks like the faction of Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is gradually being pushed out of the party because the governor is now in control. All of these were what we discussed yesterday. But I also decided to pull it up a little bit for you and focus on some of the challenges that, tertiary healthcare providers are facing in this country. If teaching hospitals are shutting down, if teaching hospitals are, being in total blackout for 100 days, if students are protesting, then what happens to innocent Nigerians? Let me allow you to join the conversation. I've reviewed everything we've talked about on the show during the week. I've also introduced a new topic, electricity as medicine, hidden cost of providing healthcare in darkness. absolutely disturbing. But you can join the conversation 0913-600-0410. I watched Dr. Yunusa Tanko, that's the national coordinator of the Peter Obi movement, on Wednesday, and from his body language and the things that he said, it looks like the obedient movement would discharge or disconnect or withdraw themselves from the operation of the Labour Party. The next couple of months would actually show us if anything is different from every of the political parties that we have. 0913-600-0410. It is the Situation Room, live from Mainland 98.3 FM. Friday edition, it's a town hall meeting. We'll have a review of everything we've talked about on the show in the course of the week. I will also introduce a new topic. How can we fix our health problems in this country, especially electricity supply? It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. Each time I wake up every day, and then I look at how much I spend a week on petrol, and I'm asking myself, is it even worth being a taxpayer when you almost don't get nothing? You provide your own security, you provide your electricity, there's no public transportation, you pay to go to school, you pay to do your masters, you pay to do everything, and you still pay tax. Well, I'm a Nigerian, and I'll continue to do so. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Oᴘᴇyémi.
Pastor Ambrose, you've not joined us the entire week. Hope you're good.
Okay, I want to be more of a listener, Jerry. This tariff now that has gone up.
Wow, that's true, though.
It's 50%, but initially I was being charged 30 kobo per second. Now it's 13 kobo per second. Now it's 35 kobo. I don't know how 35 kobo. When you join, so that's 12 kobo has joined. I don't even understand it. I mean, whether it's 20 kobo, okay, 20 kobo per second before. Now it's 35 kobo. So I don't understand how that can relate to 50%. Anyway, it also talks about, like I have said, I have not changed my position. The network providers are also going through their own in all of this. What really touched me is that one where you talked about where people sell fake drugs to kill people. I was almost a victim several years ago. I was just taking drugs, it was not working, whereas it was fake. That one is worse than a hired assassin. It's a silent killer. You buy drugs and you think that the drugs are working. How can you travel all the way from Nigeria to any country abroad and go and tell them that they should reduce the quality
of what they are producing for you?
Is that not a murderer? And that was why they killed Dora Akunyili, because she really fought them. So there are so many things in this country. I don't even know what to talk about. So sometimes I just listen. I'm always with you. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Pastor Ambrose. I mean, like I said, we are all involved in this one way or the other. Because if you go to a country and you request for lower quality of a product to be made for you, and you're bringing it to this country, don't we have quality assurance? Don't we have quality controls? We should have people that check the quality of everything that comes into this country. I'm just saying, in an ideal society. I don't know if it's an ideal space here. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Oᴘᴇ.
You're welcome.
God bless you. Big team on the line.
Good to have you on the show today.
Yeah. Oᴘᴇ, the challenge we have in this country is leadership. When you have a right leader, everything will fall in line. I'm telling you. I don't know if you witness 𝐴̀dìagbon thing. I mentioned 𝐴̀dìagbon, not Buhari. I mentioned 𝐴̀dìagbon because 𝐴̀dìagbon was head sway. There was nobody. Everybody fell in line. I am telling you. How do you imagine you are putting an accountant to be a power minister of power when we have so many engineers in power? How do you appoint somebody that is a PRO to go to Miami? What we expect? It's just unfortunate. We let us continue to bear. That's not the truth. Let me tell you, this fake drug we are talking now, if you have the right leadership, the big man, nobody here bringing fake drug. Nobody here. bringing fake drugs. Nobody. But because we don't have the right leadership for now, that's why we are having all these problems. And tell the truth. The leadership, we believe that he was coming to do the right thing, but unfortunately, he brought his own voice. And that is why what we are grappling at for now. That's the truth. Leadership is the bane we have for now in this country. If we have the right leadership, everything will go into place. I'm telling the truth. Go and mark it. Nigeria is the easiest country to rule in the whole world. Nigeria is the easiest country to rule. If you give us the right thing, we will trust follow. Give us life. I'm telling you, give us life today. You will see the industrialization of Nigeria. Just give us life. But where you put on a counter into power, what do you expect? What do they do? God bless you.
Thank you very much, Big Steve. Thank you for always talking to us. We've been warned that we should stop speaking truth to power. That power knows the truth. That power just have to sit down and know if they truly want to implement the truth. And it's disturbing. Just like the last caller said, it's difficult when you try to wrap your head around the fact that people will deliberately import fake drugs into this country, and they will find their ways into the market in large quantity. I'm not talking about using. I'm talking about container loads of fake drugs, and they will be distributed into the market, and they will be sold to people. How do you have an illness and you are buying fake drugs to cure the illness? How can it work? How can you get better? Hello, good evening. You're welcome. Hello, can you change your location? I'm struggling to hear you. Okay. And maybe you try and call back. We're also streaming live on facebook.com/mainland98.3 FM and also on youtube.com/mainland98.3 FM. We'll always create spaces like this for us to have your thoughts on every of the issue we've discussed in the course of the week, because sometimes we're not able to pick your calls. Like yesterday, I couldn't pick any call or read any message because of the guest. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome, Mr. James.
I listened to the lengthy number of challenges you listed that we are having. In fact, but if you considering all this, someone might even die of heart attack.
But that's the truth.
And that's just it. But the last speaker just spoke almost my mind. When we talk about all these challenges, take for instance, you talk about before people bring fake drug in the country, is there nobody, is there no a kind of organization that is meant to checkmate all these things and know the one that have been in every country?
We have SON.
We have
NAFDAC.
They are not
we have
functioning.
NAFDAC.
Okay. We have all of them. Take for instance, when Idiabo was in power, Idiabo is not everywhere, but because if this thing happens from your end, you are in for it. You pay dearly. Everybody will sit up. It happens. If today we have good leaders that will say, okay, police, so if there is any bribe taken, if there is any kind of compromise from your envelope, from the DPO, from you, everybody will sit up from custom. If they smuggle anything from your end, you will find out that because Oga will speak to the Oga Pata, then from that, I will go to each department and say, if this thing happens from your end, you will be the one to Oga will not use my head. Everybody will sit up. But because the leadership problems we are having today have not been solved, the moment we solve this, everything now will trickle down. We see that this problem in America you are seeing today, they have bad gangs like more than that of Nigeria, but because they have that structure, that cartel that deal with these challenges, that deal with these problems. That is why things are working there. Until we get it right with the leadership of this country, we will continue, suffering the same fate, the same pain. It's just very painful. A country that is richer than every other country in the world. Very painful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. James, for joining the conversation. 09136000410. See, whether bad leadership or terrible followership, we're all Nigerians. So is it safe to say that Nigerians are actually the problem of Nigerians? Because we see the right things that should be done, but because of our own interest or because of whatever it is that we hold dear or we hold on to, we choose to do the wrong things, and then we still come back and blame the government. Engineer Nee.
Good evening to you.
You're welcome.
When the issue of people going to other countries to say manufacture it in Nigeria is one of the geopolitics we are having in Nigeria. People should not cloud it with another reason. Issues, if they are not even if when government does not say anything about it, people should start their content. Yeah, those are the people that will be using that money to sponsor somebody in election. Yes, they want to sponsor people with that with the fake money they are getting from fake drugs. They will they will be raising their shoe that it is our turn too. It must be our turn now. Yet it is a terrible thing. They are destroying the nation. We should do something about it. Coming to the chief editor of Punch that is saying that one violence or the other, I disagree with him. He cannot dictate to a party. If they allow some Atiku to be the leader of the party, he will organize the party. He is the foremost leader now, the foundational leader from PDM to PPP. He was the leader of the PDM.
So let's break. Let me hold your
thought. If
they
allow him to organize the party, and everybody will fall into line. But because some people are in government today, they are emperors.
Engineer,
look at the governor of Benue State. He was one leg in, one leg out. That is why he says somebody should apologize to him. Who is he that somebody will
let me ask you a question. Are you with me?
No. All these things, they form emperor in their state. And if they don't come to terms with the reality, that's the problem. I beg, PDP will reorganize.
Thank you.
And come 2027, all the bad heads will go. If they don't see any followership again, that is just it. But taxation in Nigeria, please, it is getting too much. They are being extorted. They almost go to the mortuaries and cemetery to go and ask for money now. When the living are completely overstressed. Look at it.
Thank you.
They know the truth. They are not doing it. They are the owner of all these companies. Have interest in all these companies that are extorting Nigeria in one form or the other. They should start their content.
Thank you very much. I'm seeing your messages on WhatsApp as well. I will pick all of them. And also on Facebook, I'll read all of them. But let me just pick a couple of calls because by 5 o'clock, we'll be due for our first break. A very short break. I need to quickly pay some bills. And when we come back, we'll go back to picking your calls and reading your message. Just keep them coming in. Hello, good evening.
Hey, Okoyemi.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Agbiyans calling from Sango.
Good to have you.
Yeah, I listened to you throughout the week. And I just pity the young generation about what we went to with the old generation. They are talking about hospital, UCH in darkness for 100 days and the like. And the medical students also protesting now after the reconnection. Let me remind you, I went to UI in the 70s. And that was the time we had what we call the communist or socialist economy in Nigeria. We had everything. It used to be mixed economy. When the time 70 up to the time of Shagari, because when they said Nigeria could not meet the OPEC quota for 1976 production, that IMF now said Shagari should devalue the naira. The man didn't do it, but as soon as this one took over from Babangida, that was the meeting. Devalued by about 320%. IMF.
Okay, because today is Friday, I'll still take your call if you call back. 0913-600-0410. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Mainland FM.
Hey, good evening.
Good to have you join us.
This is Timothy calling you from Ojo.
Mr. Timothy, how is Ojo today?
We bless God. We thank God. We are managing. Thank you. Okay, you know my problem with this country, with the people of Nigerians, is we know our problem. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
A problem identified is half solved. We know that our problem is leadership. Okay, let's election corner. You will see the same people who knows that these leaders, they are not effective, they are not capable. They will still queue behind them. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
This is the major problem we have. All of us, we are talking now. We identify one problem or the other. But let's enter 2027 now. You see people complaining now.